This is Joseph from Talon Productions, and today we'll be looking at the Transformers MP-51 Masterpiece Arcee. This is the first official Masterpiece Arcee figure, and obviously she is based off of the Generation 1 version of the character. This one isn't quite as animation accurate as most of the recent Masterpiece figures. Alright, we'll be starting off with the packaging. It's pretty much the standard for the Transformers Masterpiece packaging at this point. Got the big image here of product shots of Arcee, Transformers Masterpiece, Takara Tomy, Long Life Design, MP-51 Cybertron Warrior Arcee Autobot logo. Flip it around here, you got an image of her in her car mode. Same stuff on there. Got some product shots here showing off how she scales with Ultra Magnus and Hot Rod, what's in the box, her different faces you can use, accessories, poses, articulation, all sorts of stuff that, to be honest, I can't read. Product shot here of her looking kind of, you know, doing her thing. Transformers Masterpiece, and more stuff. So yeah, since she comes packaged this way, we'll be starting off with Arcee in her vehicle mode, and I think she looks absolutely fantastic. This is very accurate to what we see in the 1986 animated movie. Colors are great. It's really kibble free. Of course, there is kibble on the bottom. You can't really help that too much because even at a Masterpiece level, it's still a G1 Arcee design, so you're going to have to deal with that in both the robot mode and obviously here. For the colors, obviously you got her main pink. She's got some gray, white, red here for the Autobot logo and for the tail lights back there, and clear blue plastic for the windshield. I don't really think there's anything too bad with the kibble down here. The only thing is the arms, and I think I've seen where some bits of the heel here can kind of get in the way of it being able to roll. She does roll pretty well, as long as you don't have that getting in the way, so just kind of watch out for that. Alright, now I want to show off what you can do with the accessories in this mode. There is some storage for the weapons, and there is an accessory specifically for the vehicle mode. Now first off, I want to show you got guns here, and I got the holster here, because you'll need that for this. You have a tab there, and slots on each side of the back of the car, and put it in. You got tabs on both sides of this gun, and you can put them like that. Now, you know, it's alright. Of course, it's just kind of, you know, big guns and kind of just a big holster on each side, so it, you know, might not look great, but you know, it's there if you want to do it. This gun here stores underneath here. Now you got two slots here and tab. Now the best way to do it is this way, and it can be a little weird to tab because the more you put pressure here, this tends to bend in along with the head. So, hold on. Yeah, so fits under there, you know, still rolls fine. It can pop off, so be a little careful when you have it under there, but yeah, that's where that goes. Now, as far as I know with this gun, you can still store it under here like you can in the robot mode, and you'll see that later. But, you know, you can still put it there as well. And last but not least, you got weapons she used on Junkion against, you guessed it, the Junkions. And this has a tab, again, got a slot here, and it fits there, like that. There you go. Pretty cool. I like this a lot. It's pretty neat. Now, even though there is a little slot over here, you can't actually use it on that side, so be aware of that. Alright, here's your couple of size comparisons being just for the standard MP Carbot size. Here is the Masterpiece Prowl Plus version. They are about the same length, but yeah. And here is MP Hound. Again, sort of same deal. Yeah. So overall, I think this is a pretty good vehicle mode. It looks very solid. I think it's probably the best G1 Arcee car mode out there, including the third-party options. Now it's time for the transformation, and her transformation really isn't all that bad. There's definitely some parts that can be a little iffy, specifically here with the windshield. Alright, so first thing you'll want to do is untab the sides here, flip this up, turn these this way, and bring this back, and then fold this back. Here's that. Right, you want to unplug this. Can go ahead and kind of push in the gray bits there, pull those in, and then squeeze those together. We'll unplug the sides here. You want to slide this tail light up and fold it in and bring these together. And do be careful with these, they can be a little iffy pushing on them just because the connections are kind of small and could possibly break. I think I've heard reports of those being broken, so just watch out for those. Now from here, stuff is starting to get kind of loose, so what you want to do is bring the feet out and down. I would go ahead and just push them in and bring it down, and then fix the feet, and then the whole entire lower body is done. Here, go ahead and bring the arms down. Make sure you got it with smaller side pin showing. Alright, what you want to go ahead and do is kind of pop this up and try to keep these out for right now. Go ahead and bring this down and sort of leave that for the time being. Then we got what is kind of an annoying part of the transformation. I'm going to turn this, the windshield, and you kind of have to very carefully turn it and get it through. Here, go ahead and fold down the wheels, fold that flat, and then go ahead and put these pieces in. Then you can go ahead and bring this down, and then you got tabs here, slots here. And this is where you kind of have to start, I hate to say, but like mushing stuff together, I guess. Alright, what you want to make sure is have the wheels, have the back wheels folded in, but have the pink parts out. And what you want to do is bring these struts here through these spaces. And you'll also see the back of the car here has two tabs that will go into slots on the lower back. And they're in, and that's gone through where it needs to. So you can go ahead and bring the chest down and go ahead and fold these pieces. Okay, all of that is pretty tightly put together. Then get the arms in their right position. And last but not least, you'll want to see Autobot logos on the panel. Just flip it over and go ahead and push the panel down. And that's pretty much it. The transformation really isn't hard. You do have a certain order you need to go in, and as you kind of saw, I tend to forget sometimes what exactly the order can be, and I kind of remember it as I go. But yeah, just keep that in mind when you do it. Alright, here we have MP-51 Masterpiece Arcee in her robot mode. And I gotta say, she looks absolutely fantastic. She does have some flaws, some very apparent, you know, like the backpack, and you know, there's some issues sort of with the whole chest area, how it looks with the neck and whatnot. But considering, you know, the nature of G1 Arcee's design and making it actually work as a transformable figure, I think this works out pretty well, and it's honestly the best MP representation of Arcee if you also include the various third-party options out there. Now let's get a closer look at some of these so-called flaws. You see, one of the big complaints here was the, as it's been lovingly called, the grandma chest, so to speak. Just the fact that the chest seems a bit low down, and then the fact that there's the whole thing with the neck. I think that the neck makes everything look worse than it actually is. It is a bit funny looking, but I don't really mind, or at the very least, it's one of those things where I can just get over it. Then you got, of course, one of the biggest things, the backpack kibble. It is pretty big, I'm not gonna lie, but again, it's G1 Arcee. I just, like, there's no real way to get around it even on a Masterpiece. Moving on to her features and accessories. Starting off, you have the sort of the visor that she had in the movie, which flips out. It's got a little nub. Catch it with the nail. Folds out, and what you'll need to do is, in here there are two grooves. The front one is what you have the faces in normally, and you'll want to put it on the second one. As you can maybe see, it makes the face a bit more recessed, but then you put it down. I think those look great. I love having her pose with those down, holding the guns. And we'll go ahead and remove this face. This was the stock face, or at least the one that came on the figure whenever I got it. Then you just slide them up. Alright, there's that one. You got this one. This one looks a lot more like a sort of a concerned face. And last but not least, this one. So yeah, they all look good. To me, they're all a little too samey, if I'm being honest. But they're not bad. I think they definitely capture G1 Arcee's face. Alright, on to her other accessories. she comes with 3 guns. You got this large-ish rifle. You got the blast effect for it. This one looks very cool. You got this smaller gun, which it comes with its blast effect, and a holster, and then a smaller gun, and its own blast effect. Now, you can interchange the blast effects from these two, just not with this one because it has a square connection. Now, of course, they all have the standard Masterpiece thing of having tabs on the handles and then slots in the hands. Once again though, this gun is the odd man out just because it only has tab on that side, so it can only go in the right hand. Now, just to show you, open up the hands, put the gun in. There you go. I love the look of this one. It's super cool. And, you know, this just plugs in. Looks good. And just to show you that again, this one also can plug in. This is one of those ones that has like the odd shape to it, which I kind of dig. It can also store on the sides here. Doesn't look great, but hey, it is an option there if you want to do it. Now with the medium-sized gun, you can put the holster onto either hip. I think it looks better on this one because, you know, it just looks more normal. Slide that down in there. Bam. I think that looks pretty good. Go ahead and put this one in her hand. There you go. You got it with that blast effect. And again, if you wanted to switch it, even though I feel like that might be a bit much. It's kind of cool, but a bit much. And the last one, once again, it only goes in this hand. And then that fits over that. There you go. And you see, this one's got some interesting storage where you open up this panel here, and it can be a little weird to get in, but you just kind of slide it up there. Make sure it is like that, and then just put this down. That connection can seem a bit loose, but it stays in there pretty good. And I think it's a pretty neat little way of storing that as well. But yeah, that's it for Arcee and her accessories. Now we'll get into some articulation. I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. The backpack does get in the way of some stuff, but you know, it is what it is. But her head can look up about that far. She's got a double jointed neck, so you can do a good bit. Can look all the way around. Get a little bit of wobble there. Can look forward a good bit. For the arms, you do have the butterfly joint. Shoulders go up, down. Elbow bends very well. Bicep swivel at the wrist. It's got the pointer finger has 2 joints and the other 3 are 1 single joint. And for the fingers, you know, thumb moves that way. You do have a torso joint. You got a, you know, bit of an ab crunch there. You know, it's got that constant freaking arch. You can move her a bit of a waist. Not too much movement, but it is there. And the legs go up that far. You can get it even more when you have that joint come out. It looks a little awkward, but it does do it. It actually doesn't go any more back. It is a double knee joint. You can get some really good knee bends. The leg articulation that she has is awesome. The toe can move like that. Foot can go back that far, and it pretty much stays up that far. And she's got a really good ankle tilt. So she has, I think, very good articulation. And considering, you know, the backpack and the thin frame, it all works out. Like, she doesn't really fall over a whole lot, at least for me. You might have to mess with her a little bit. Alright, now it's time for some size comparisons. Going from smallest to largest, here is MP-45 Bumblebee. Next, for an average carbot size, here is Masterpiece Sunstreaker, which, as you can see, they're pretty much the same size. Arcee is actually, looks like slightly taller in terms of just like the ballpark, you know, same size. Here is Hot Rod. Now he's a little taller than her. And last but not least, here's MP-44 Optimus Prime. As you can tell, he's a good bit taller than her. So yeah, on the whole, Arcee is a very cool figure. The vehicle mode is pretty great in my opinion, and the robot mode is really good. It does have compromises, but given that it is G1 Arcee, I really feel like it's just borderline unavoidable. and it does really good for what it is. Looks great. It does have sort of the issue with the chest. Thankfully, the backpack isn't too much of a hindrance in terms of articulation and balance. I find that she poses extremely well regardless of that. And overall, this is just a very solid Masterpiece figure. I was a bit iffy on getting this one despite me pre-ordering it months in advance, but I'm really glad that I got this one. This is Joseph from Untitled Productions. I hope you enjoyed this review. Check out my channel for older reviews and new ones to come. And if you would, please leave a like. In the comments, tell me what you think about MP-Arcee. Do you like her, dislike her, why or why not? And of course, if you like this video and other ones of mine, please think about subscribing. Thanks for watching and have a great day.